my chat pulled up real quick. I want to say thank you to Chattanooga Ed for being my co-host as usual, much appreciated, and the River Life for being our special guest today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me, sir. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. I'm going to go through some hellos real quick in the chat. We've got Young Fish Aquatics, Kaler's Aquatics, Pepplin Creek Aquatics, FNS Fish Room, Cody's Son, Chad Crotts, Sandy Dowdy. Chat jumped on me there. Let's see. Teresa Cookie, Science Gal Aquatics, hello. The Zen Ginger coming in with what has become her standard $2 super sticker saying she is here with the big red arrow. Thank you very much, Zen, for that. I appreciate it. Never required, but thank you very much. Lumpy Dog is here as well. Leslie's Aquatics, if I missed you, and I think I got to the bottom. So, GRB Aquatics, good day to you. For anybody that may not know who we have as our special guest, which I think you'd have to be under an aquarium rock not to know who he is, we have Rack from the River Life channel. He's a YouTuber, but he's also an artist and a conservationist, and that was kind of not why I titled it, but why I did the art the way I did, because we're going to have conversation, we're going to talk about conservation, and this is just one big collaboration. We're going to bend the needle toward the good, which is Rack's statement right there.
You nailed that title, brother. That is a perfect title for this live stream.
Thank you very much. I was trying to do something that was, right up the alley of what you're trying to do and what we're trying to work together on.
Bullseye.
Would you like to, I guess in your words, tell people a little bit about what your journey has been?
So I'm a retired municipal administrator. I also ran for public office and found myself in a pretty sweet living, situation, being retired and being a naturalist, which incorporates all those cool things you said about me. I love creatures, studying creatures, drawing creatures, writing about creatures. And so I wanted to do a YouTube channel, but I was technology deficient. So my challenge was to learn how to do the technology. And over the last 3 years, I've been honing that learning curve on the YouTube platform. And if you look back at some of my earlier videos, you can tell like, wow, he's come a long way. And you and I agree on one thing, James, and that is we're lifelong learners. So
absolutely,
my journey involves learning for the rest of my life, and this YouTube has been the most recent thing I've learned.
Absolutely. Real quick, thank you, Bob Kaler with Kaler's Aquatics for the $2 super sticker of the workout pair saying cool. Very much appreciated, Bob. Always good to see you. I look forward to being able to schedule to have you on one of these streams.
That'd be awesome.
So I found out a little bit of information on you today because, of course, for anybody that doesn't know, Rack is huge on conservation. He's the one that really in the community kicked off the Project Piaba. I don't even know what to call it necessarily.
Well, it was a natural progression. It wasn't anything I did other than say, hey, look what I found. And I think Corey had found it before I did, and I learned about it through him. So it's just one of those follow the dots.
Absolutely. But I found out that your conservation days go a little bit further back than just your YouTube days, that you were actually the International Amphibian Day chairperson at one point.
That's true. Yeah, that was a cool thing. Back in the 90s, a group gathered. We called it a scientific symposium, International Amphibian Days. And we had, we were, I guess, a sub-chapter of an existing not-for-profit group that kind of focused on reptiles, and the International Amphibian Days centered around poison dart frogs and salamanders and other frogs. But dart frogs were the big topic, and the unique thing about that, where I kind of cut my teeth on international conservation, was we drew not only from academic and practical experiences, but also from professionals and amateurs. And to my knowledge, that wasn't going on a whole lot. And when it was in the context of maybe an amateur club having a professional come to do a show or something. And this was more along the lines of workshops and ongoing research and field trips and just sharing information. Those of you getting ready to go to the big fish deal, you're going to experience that firsthand. You're going to have professional fish keepers, professional ichthyologists and biologists right there with the hobbyists and the club members and the fish keepers. And you'll find that everyone has something to bring to the table. And if you'll just
Absolutely.
set the table and invite them, man, you talk about world-changing events. So that's what happened at the International Amphibian Day. And I saw the success and the personal relationship growth and how that impacted conservation. So when I discovered Project Piaba and went to the booth, it was like Deb Joyce, their business person there for Project Piaba. She said, "There's something here, Rack, and I don't know what it is, but we're going to figure it out. We're going to work together until we figure it out." And that was 3 years ago. So going forward, now we see you part of the Project Piaba powerhouse. James, I'm pointing to my monitor over here on the left.
Absolutely.
We got you and Multi-Tank Addiction, as well as others. Corey's, of course, was on board even before I was. And we're seeing how that collaborative spirit, the fish tube, the YouTubers, and the nonprofit international organization just saying, hey, what do you bring to the table? And do we have common ground where we can encourage each other? And lo and behold, we do.
Absolutely. Now, did you have I guess a big takeaway, or maybe a few takeaways from being that chairperson that's helped you, down the road now?
Absolutely. I would say it was formative. Even if you come into my live stream, the River Life Community Tank Live, we talk about bending the needle toward the good. We talk about everyone having something to offer. If you're a community member, you've got something. And we want to create a safe space where you can bring your something, put it on a buffet of options. And if people like it, take what they like, share it. If you don't like it, just don't spit on it. Maybe what the next guy wants. And that
I absolutely love what you say.
That, listen, I've seen that in action, and I believe in it. That's why I present it in my live streams as an encouragement. It works, and it works especially, well, my experience and observation, it works very well in the conservation arena. Don't have to do it the way they're doing it. Here's another way you can do it. Which way fits best for you? Let's just do it. That's the main thing.
Absolutely, 100%. Real quick, I want to pull this up. I'm sure the link has been dropped for your channel, but I want to pull up real quick just so people know exactly where they're landing, that they've hit the right spot. Oh, there we go. That's what you're looking for right there. Go check out the River Life YouTube channel. He's got a great live stream, and he does some phenomenal videos.
Thank you.
And then let me link over to it. Going from there, he's got, if you're a Facebook person, you're big on Facebook, he has the River Life Community Tank on Facebook.
And that tank is open 24/7. You can drop in there anytime.
Now, you do have one request on there revolving the sharing of videos and things.
Yes. We started out with just a few rules. No bullying. It's a safe space. Bring your ideas. Share your fish-related content. But we did have some video links, some external links outside of the River Life YouTube channel. The thing exists to support, full disclosure, the River Life YouTube channel. Outside of that, I'm asking that you only post your links to videos on Saturday. And the reason is, prior to that rule being implemented, there were several videos being posted several times, and it became clutter. So we're cleaning out the clutter. All the video links are posted on Saturday, so they're together. You can find them, and it's not, we have a different purpose other than being primarily a link outlet. That's all.
Right. Well, it's hard to bend the needle toward the good when you can't see the gauge.
That's excellent. Way to go, James.
James, if you would have just wheeled that down a little, you may have seen one of my relatives.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to. I'm just saying.
I'll go back and check that out. Before we get too far away from it, I want to talk a little bit about Project Piaba. I'm sure the people here, they hear me talk about it constantly, and they've heard how I express what Piaba is about, or Project Piaba. But for maybe somebody that's here in mind that has not heard you talk about them, what would be the best way, in your words, to sum up Piaba and what they're doing?
Well, I want to tell you, sometimes I fancy myself a wordsmith, occasionally making a word up. And so a word that I made up not long ago was epiphonic. And epiphonic is an epiphany, when you realize something for the first time and it kind of grabs you. And it happens, it's so loud you can hear it. It becomes sonic. So it's like epiphonic. So I had an epiphonic experience when I first talked to Deb Joyce and Scott Dowd and Jackie Anderson at the Project Piaba booth several years ago. And so I was chairman of the International Amphibian Day, where we looked down through our white ivory tower noses at people that would import animals for sale. And we were advocates, very strong advocates of captive bred only. Leave the wild, leave collecting from the wild to the experts who have done the population study, who have the proper permits, who understand the necessary care of the animal, and do not import, especially for resale or private collection. And so that was my mindset, and I believed it. That was by the actions in my life, you could tell this is something that I believed. So when I'm hearing from Project Piaba that they're promoting collecting fish, tropical fish, for the tropical fish hobby from the wild, I am taken aback. I have to say, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're talking, but I'm missing a few steps here as to how wild collecting of animals for a hobby is a good thing. And so Scott Dowd was in the booth talking to someone. And so Deb said, Scott, will you come and talk to Rack? He has a question about how collecting these wild fish from the wild can be good. And it was just an amazing thing. That's when the epiphanic thing happened.
Gotcha.
Scott said, I understand exactly where you're coming from, Rack, because that's where I was. I actually started studying the fish in the Rio Negro because on my first visit, I saw all these fish going out of here and thought, this is horrible, and I'm part of it because I'm a fish keeper, and now I want to work to stop it. So Scott found out that not only was it not harmful, it was in fact helpful to the wild population to export these fish in a sustainable and responsible manner. So what Project Piaba is a nonprofit organization, and they've been doing studies and documenting things concerning the tropical fishery along the Rio Negro, the largest tributary to the Amazon River, and documenting population studies and doing it in a culturally sensitive way so that the native people are involved, not only as, I guess, quasi entrepreneurs, but also guardians of the rainforest. And if it weren't for them being able to extract a living from a sustainable and monitored, measured, and documented means of taking wild tropical fish, the only alternative for them, and I say only, there's probably a caveat or two, but the major opportunity outside of that is involving rainforest destruction, raising cattle, raising palm hearts, doing something that involves slash and burn, which directly impacts then the tributary.
Absolutely.
So as long as they're drawing a living from sustainably harvesting these fish, they're protecting the rainforest for as far as they can. Like, please upstream, be aware that what you do to the rainforest affects our income as natives down here.
Right.
So that's my heartfelt,
back.
compassionate explanation of what Project Piaba is.
And it's a wonderful cause. And I was aware of them, but I wasn't fully aware like you. And I found that a lot of people have that same epiphanic moment.
Yeah,
where it's
which is good.
Intuitive.
It's not bad. It's great that you're protective of natural resources. It's outstanding.
Yeah, I've gone back to you a lot when I first started trying to explain it to people, because people would hear it and they go, "Well, how is that a good thing?"
Right.
And a lot of people that are in the hobby, if they're in salt, they're like, "Well, no, that's got to be as bad as harvesting corals. It's got to be," because we hear taking from the wild, and it's like, no, this is completely different.
Well, if you follow Project Piaba on Instagram, and you can if you're not, they're now the recent post that I read, it described the water depth. So these fish that they're collecting are up in a floodplain, and the water is receding. So after the breeding season, this water is dropping quickly now. A lot of the fish, the cardinal tetra that they're collecting, and others along with them, you can see what's in the video. There's 3 or 4 species in one little Instagram clip. They oftentimes get stranded on the dry land and die.
Right.
So the harvest of the fish is like a zero population impact.
Absolutely, because most of these fish, or a lot of them, are biologically engineered to overproduce because there's going to be such a mass die-off during the dry season. So we're taking a lot of times fish that would not have survived anyways, and giving them a home and some place to continue on with.
Absolutely. And I would encourage your viewers, great group of people in here, by the way, a lot of friendly faces, guys. Thanks for turning out tonight. I would say, don't take my word for it. Don't listen to James and Ed. Check it out for yourself. ProjectPiaba.org has lots of information. If you do a Project Piaba search on YouTube, you'll get lots more information. And the information won't hurt you. Even if you're not looking, if you have an opinion and you're happy with it, great. It's beautiful, beautiful footage. It's great content. And if you don't want it to impact your paradigm, no problem at all. But I would encourage you to check out Project Piaba and just hear what they have to say.
Absolutely. It's always good to acquire knowledge, whether it's for or against what you think is your cause at the moment. Real quick, I want to say thank you to Mr. Zen with the $2 super chat. It says 18 thumbs up, 45 watching, triple question mark. Thank you very much, Mr. Zen, for the super chat and for calling out smashing the like button. If you all are enjoying the conversation, I think we'd all appreciate that. We'll help show everybody that this is a good thing. Everybody loves Rack, so let's give him a thumbs up. Gonna use you here to. Normally, I don't plea for him or ask for him, but I know people like you. You're one of the most likable guys around.
I do like being a positive encourager. There's a lot of negativity in the world, and sometimes it takes a little extra effort to step around it to be positive. In my personal experience, that's all I can speak from. It's always been worth it to find an avenue to be positive.
Absolutely. I want to segue ever so slightly over into the community aspect, because for anybody that does not know, you are also in East Tennessee, along with myself, Chattanooga Ed, and several others like Bob Kaler, Kaler's Aquatics, who's in the chat, and Tiffany White is West Tennessee, but fellow Tennessean nonetheless. And you were actually the one that kind of poked me, I guess, if you will, and was like, James, we have this opportunity. You were a pivotal player, I'll say, in me poking and kicking people and going, hey, let's all get together.
Yeah, those things are tricky. You did an outstanding job of making sure that happened. Two things can happen there. You can go recklessly and there's collateral damage that you don't anticipate, or you can go too slow and it dies in committee. So the best thing to do is just go with caution, but by all means go. And that's what we did. And you were able to secure a date starting at, and I said, always go with your first opportunity. That way, if you have to push, you've got more time to push. Sure enough, it worked out. You got everything scheduled at Aquatic Marine. Chattanooga Ed was there. People were coming from all over the world to see Ed. And we had Kaler's Aquatics, Tiffany White, Ginger Graves, Rochelle was there, you, myself, Sean Peck of Peck Tech. Kenny was such a wonderful host, and the shop was amazing. That place, I mean, those tanks looked brand new. They were in great shape. The place was well stocked. I didn't see an empty space on any shelf. They had everything, fish food, fish med, hardscaping material, great hardscaping material, cabinetry, custom-made aquarium stands, a cool selection of saltwater and freshwater fish. Turned out to be one excellent venue. I'll say that.
Absolutely. Real quick, I want to, somehow I missed his name on my quick list, but Sean Peck of Peck Tech, he's right here with me in Knoxville. Thank you to him for coming on the show. And also he sent me home with a bunch of botanicals you all will see in a future video. So thank you for that, Sean.
Who won the board games?
I won one of them and brutally lost the other one to Ed, who had what Sean said was the highest score in that game he'd ever seen.
It was a butterfly game, so it was a specialty of mine.
You went. Now I heard you went insane in one of the games, Ed.
I did go insane.
Oh wow!
I found all the marbles.
You lost.
But it backfired.
Yeah, I just recognized something here. You know, I'm a technical genius. Not. I'm not listening through headphones. Are you getting any echo at all from my audio?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not either.
Good. Good.
Real quick, Kaler's Aquatics has a question, but I want to address these super chats before they get too far away from me. Zen Ginger with the $2 super sticker with the big red thumbs up. Thank you, Miss Zen. And then Mr. Zen right behind her with the $2 super chat saying, hello, James. Hello, Mr. Zen. Always good to see you. And then Mr. Zen again directly behind that with another $2 super chat saying hello to Ed. Thank you for all of those, Mr. and Mrs. Zen. Huge supporters of the channel and just of the community in general. Zen is one of those people I lean on very heavily with my channel and, getting critique from her. She's
awesome.
also got a good channel. Yeah, she does. She's a great person. They both are. So thank you all for that. Kaler's Aquatics asked, what impact on the creatures that utilize the annual die-offs does collecting their fish have?
I think it's a natural progression to ask that. Once you get to that point, that says you've considered a lot of things along the way. So I applaud Bob Kaler for thinking that far into it. And I would say, first of all, I have no idea. I haven't studied it, but then I back that, and I've been asked this before, and I back that up like this. Project Piaba has been gathering that data and publishing it for 27 years. And in the beginning, actually, it wasn't even focused on the fish. It was focused on other macro vertebrates. It was the fish. No, it wasn't. It was the monkeys and the parrots. So they wanted to figure out what impact deforestation was having. They wanted to document. They knew it was an absolute travesty for the monkeys and the birds to lose all their trees. So Project Piaba started to document the effect that deforestation had on the monkeys and the birds. And then it went to the, wait a minute, the watershed. That's where the untold truth is. It's like, if we don't see beneath the surface of the water, we don't care as much. So they started taking the research below the surface and documenting just exactly what happens when you get that cattle sewage runoff, when you get the erosion, when you deforest the rainforest to grow palm trees for the palm heart industry. Or, as we've heard, let's see, we're in Brazil and Peru. You hear a lot about the illegal gold mining, the same erosion and putting the heavy metals in the water. So when you start talking about that substrate and subterranean level, there's some study that's been done. So I would say, again, first, I don't know, but having 27 years of documentation available, someone who is interested might be able to find a paper or two that measured that.
Absolutely. And I don't know, but I feel that it would be safe to say, at least from my opinion, that if they're documenting those things and they're continuing to, I don't even want to say promote, but to help engage people and show that it's a positive thing, that would show that the data backs up the fact that it's good to continue doing it.
Yes. So, I think the caution would be, is it causing an imbalance that we're not seeing?
Right.
Because, in other words, are the dead fish worth more to the environment than the live fish are to the hobby? But when I talk to the Project Piaba volunteers, the people, when I press the flesh, it's like, if you remove those, if you allow the fish to die, not collect them, and then do the natural thing to feed the micro invertebrates or what have you, at that point, you're also giving over the guardianship of the rainforest to people who would deforest it.
Right. Well, and you've got the illegal gold mining that happens down there too, sadly.
And again, and Corey was very culturally sensitive when he said this. I'm talking about Corey like he's my stepbrother, but he's not. Corey is the Aquarium Co-op channel creator and also owner of the Aquarium Co-op fish store, who has happened to have traveled on numerous times to Peru on fish collecting trips, and is also very concerned about conservation. And so he's talked about Project Piaba several times, and in explaining Corey's situation there, James, I forgot it that quickly, what it was you had said that prompted that. What were you talking about?
Oh, I was saying that if Project Piaba is still continuing to support the collecting after 27 years of researching the potential side effects, that there aren't enough negatives to tell them to stop supporting collecting it.
Yeah, and I think the point there is, if they do stop collecting, then you're giving over to deforestation,
right?
Which then everything goes out of balance, and we start then impacting the macro vertebrates, the monkeys and the birds again, even the people.
Absolutely.
And by the way, my understanding is, and I'm biased, I'm all about conservation. Oh, I know. I was going to talk about Corey being culturally sensitive. In Peru, it's like, hey, before we jump up and down and point the finger at these people for illegally mining gold, let's understand that we all are earning a living to support our families.
Absolutely.
And that's okay. And so Project Piaba then affords people to do this, to support their family in a livable means that they choose for themselves, while at the same time protecting the rainforest.
Right.
And so then it's going to also be understood, if we don't do that, they are going to continue to provide for their family. They're not going to stop providing for their family because we no longer want to buy their fish. Probably it's going to involve destroying the rainforest and damaging it, not only where they are to make a living, but also downstream. You know,
Absolutely.
The old saying, everybody lives downstream.
Yeah, and that was more to my point versus, hey, going after the gold mining is the fact that we want to keep people that want to collect fish collecting fish and not reverting over to the gold mining and cattle farming. Real quick, we've got some super chats I want to address. Mike with the fish tank barn, I'm loving that logo, buddy. $2 for the tip jar. Thank you very much for that. I'm looking forward to meeting you here in a couple weeks at the Big Fish Deal. And then we've got Scott Backer is coming through with the $2 super chat. I think he was trying to help cover Mr. Zen. It wouldn't let him send the chat to say hello to Rack. Scott Backer's got $2 saying hello, Rack. And then the Zen Ginger popped in with another $2 super chat. Said, Mr. Zen said hello, Rack, with the smiley face. I love you all. Thank you very much. Couldn't ask for a better community. You all are so supportive. Never expected or required, but thank you all very much for that. Kaler's Aquatics, I don't know that it's a question, but probably some good information. It says, I know some species depend on the bonanza of extra protein and extra foods to have a good spawn to reproduce themselves. So I just want to throw that into the conversation that we just had regarding it.
You know, earlier we were talking, and I'm sorry to go back to a subject that we just touched on for a second, and it was about Sean Peck. But he has a game. I also have the game. It's a wonderful game. It's called Wingspan, and he would love to play it with you. It has pretty much virtually, I think, every North American bird in the game. And my dad does not like games at all. Well, he plays card games, but not board games. But he loves this game too. He just likes to read the facts, and every bird does something different that you can play. And we'd love to have you come to Knoxville. I'll go up, and if you come down, and we'll play it sometime. Maybe.
Well, yeah, I know. Sean's been on me about that too. We've got to do it. And my wife and I have already scoped out the game to purchase for ourselves on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
And, I mean, like I went to Facebook to get the link that James sent me, and found a memory of myself holding a bird watching scope and a pair of binoculars from 12 years ago. So I posted that on Facebook just before I came on here. I think I said something like, what was I doing 12 years ago? What were you doing 12 years ago? That reminded me of something like James might say. I'm not crying. You're crying.
You're crying. Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to throw that out, Rack. Rack, I also noticed you've got some neat looking art, or are those flags on the wall, or what are those?
Those are my art prints. I've got framed. If you're familiar with the River Life Community Tank live stream, you know, on this side, I usually have an original by Multi-Tank Addiction, Chris, his Project Piaba Fish, where every time he sells a copy of his print, he donates to Project Piaba. Well, that particular frame was nicer. It had a heavier frame and it had glass on it. Well, the command hook decided it was too nice. So tonight I've got my cheap plastic frame up here with the art print of my Cardinal Tetra. I see James has gone with the Etsy page, it looks like.
Yes, be sure to check that out. I do have, I'm not going to grab it at the moment, but I also have a couple of those wonderful River Life pieces that I picked up from you.
Give me a testimony, James. How are you liking those?
I like them. I like them a lot. I'm still working on frames. I keep going back and forth on framing because I keep gathering fish fam art.
Oh, yeah.
And so at one point it was different types of frames, and now I'm kind of thinking I want them all in the same frame, or same style of frame. So at this point I'm doing a lot of collecting because it's going to be a hallway of fish fam art.
I love that. And here's what I did, because I have a lot of art. You know, it's growing by the day. These frames are Michael's. That's a big box store. I don't know if they're everywhere or not, but Michael's had and they still do, I think. It's a buy one, get two free sale on these, and they're very inexpensive. They're small, bordered with plastic sheets of acrylic that the print goes between, so it becomes a floating frame. So these were very inexpensive. They're very light, and I think they present the modern art very well.
And if that sale's not going on, they always offer 40% off of one item.
If you go online, you can get that for sure.
And if you have a Hobby Lobby, they have the exact same thing, and they'll honor the same. I buy those exact frames.
Well,
I get from Hobby Lobby.
I love them. They serve the purpose. That's what they do. Now, James, I got a request here. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to address. We've got this lovely lady in the chat. Not only has she gifted us River Life's time, but she's also given me some of y'all's money as well.
Oh,
Angela Cross, $5 super chat. Nothing to say, just throwing money out there. Thank you. We appreciate that very, very much, and appreciate you letting us borrow your husband for a little while to do this live stream.
She likes to watch me work.
Absolutely, and that's awesome. It's phenomenal when you have a significant other that is not just accepting, but engaged in what you're doing.
I concur. James, you've got my Etsy page up there. I want to know if I can use your viewers as a poll straw here.
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
You guys, what's your favorite? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 or 8 different works there. What's your favorite? Ed's got a couple more over there. He's got the Celestial Pearl Danio and the Cardinal Tetra. Do you have a favorite? And those let's see. The Wild
I like that discus one that you got there. The Wild Discus.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, those are new last week.
Yeah, real quick, I want to point something out though. If you'll do us a favor, when you go to when you go to Rack's Etsy page, you'll see this button right here, that favorite shop. Do us all a favor and click on that if you would.
That's awesome, James. Thank you for doing
that. Absolutely.
That's nice. Yeah, and right now, for your viewers, those all are. I put a $1 item up there. Here you go for $1. It's just a little card, just so everybody can have something. If they want to start collecting, it's $1.
You got to love that.
That's awesome.
Definitely will combine shipping. There's some more art. Yeah. Now, James, if I remember correctly, you got the neon blue tuxedo guppy and the zebra danio.
I believe you're correct.
And at the time, that guppy was my favorite because it was the last one I completed. It was the newest. Somehow I always prefer the last one I finished. But so for the guys here in chat, if you want to go to the Etsy page and purchase a print, I will give you at no additional charge an extra print if you'll mention it in the note at the end. Of course, if you buy this one, you're not going to get a free one, the $1 one. But if you buy one of the others, I'll throw in a free print. Just let me know which one you want. That was the zebra danio you held up there?
Yep, I had the zebra danio and the blue tuxedo.
Now, yeah, and okay, so the zebra danio and the Celestial Pearl danio I can't see it on the screen, but it lists the size of the original. What size is the original? Lower right corner.
Original 3x9 acrylic on canvas.
So it's a small original, and the others are 10x20.
Correct. Yeah, that's what it's got. I hadn't even noticed that, honestly.
So that's a museum style print with that information. So it's okay for me to say this. Randy Reed of the Aquarist podcast and also an employee of the Aquarium Co-op contacted me and asked me if I was going to be doing any discus. And I said, yeah, I got some discus work going on. And he sent me a picture of one of his wild discus that he collected from a farm while he was down there with Corey. And that fish, you can't unsee it. It's beautiful. And so it was definitely an influence in some of that wild discus art. And Randy thought he may want to buy a wild discus print. And then when he saw the originals, he just hauled off and bought an original. So one of the originals is now in the collection of Randy Reed.
That's really cool.
Podcast. And doing the art, building the collaboration, we've decided through the art purchase that I'm going to be a guest on the Aquarius podcast again.
Very nice.
About this aquarium art, this art that's related directly to the tropical fish hobby. And he is going to be a guest on the River Life Community Tank live stream.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the collaboration portion, of this live stream, James, it's omnipresent. It's like, why would we do something and not try and figure out a way that we could expand it via collaboration? And I don't know if you've heard a live stream I did a couple of weeks ago talking about competition versus collaboration. Competition sets out to divide resources, and collaboration builds resources that not only the direct contributors have a part of, but also the community. So love your title tonight. That's how it's going on in the art. Thank you very much. By the way, can I give something away tonight to your viewers? Can I give some art away?
I think they would be okay with that. I don't think we'd have any problems. I think that's phenomenal and appreciated. Real quick, I want to say, because I don't want people to think I'm just addressing the super chats. I did have a highlighted comment from Moonstone who said, Fish Room Fever, I'm going to collect and make a collage on the wall. Yes, exclamation point, in reference to the art. So
nice. I'll make it. I'll pick something. I'll make a donation to your channel, and you can give it away however you want to, James.
Absolutely.
Was there any response in the chat to anyone's favorite? Was there a popular print you'd like to give away?
Let's see. I see a lot of CPD in there.
Let me grab one of those.
And real quick, while you're doing that, I want to say thank you to Bob Kaler of Kaler's Aquatics, throwing the $4 super chat this way just to say hello to us. Hey, Ed. Hey, Rack. Hey, James.
Hey, Bob.
Kaler, thank you very much. He was, for anybody that doesn't know, speaking of collaboration, Bob was the first person local to me to kind of welcome me into the fish fam and get me connected with Chattanooga Ed. I see Bob is using my old strategy to win of asking what he won before we got to it. So I like that right there. And thank you again, Bob, for that super chat.
Thanks for letting me spend a little time on my art. Obviously, I love this. I do it a lot. I think there's something for the community here. I'm glad to share it. Thank you guys for checking out the art. In case you didn't notice, it's abstract minimalist art, and it's a little bit forward. If it's not your taste, I completely understand. Not everyone digs this style of art. So, and I'm okay if you don't. But I do think, as part of my artist statement, I think there's something here for fish keepers and for art collectors. And one of the things is I got to be careful here. I'm hiding the name. I did an Instagram post, and I asked people on my Instagram to guess what, and I offered a free print, and no one guessed it. What fish inspired this painting? What do you guys think? You got a guess? So while you're thinking about it, let me tell you, nobody guessed it. And so I'm telling you, it's a common fish. You've heard of it. If you're in this chat, you've heard of this fish. It'd be very highly unlikely you weren't aware of this fish. But this style of art, it's reduced to such a minimalism. It's almost an irreducible complexity. So that if I take away one element or one color, then it makes no sense at all in the context of especially the name.
That's what I was going to bring.
Are all these freshwater? It can't be like a dragonette, can it?
It is freshwater.
Okay.
And I just think it is a different way. I've been in fish keeping for 55 years, and when I'm studying these fish, when I'm doing my case study, when I'm doing practice paintings, I'm looking at the fish differently than I have for 50 years of looking at fish. And this is just an example. So
real quick, I want to say thank you to Daryl Deemer, $5 super chat. nothing to say. Just throwing $5 out there at us. I very much appreciate you, Daryl. It's always good to see you. Thank you.
Hey, Daryl. Good to see you, bro.
The lovely Angela Cross comes in right behind that with a $15 super chat and say, give away River Wife's favorite.
I know which one we're giving away, James. You guys don't know yet, but I know. All right, and we'll do that. We'll get to that. What do you think this one is? Oh, the Zen Ginger. That is a fantastic guess. And I'm looking on my wall at a painting titled German Blue Ram. This is not it, but I have one in the pipeline. As soon as the prints come back, it will be on Etsy. It's a beautiful fish to paint. James, do you have a guess?
There's a rainbow that's that color, but I can't think of what it's called.
Hang on a minute, Ed. Nope, not a rainbow fish.
Nuts.
But see, that's a good guess. And you're putting that together
it's
because you're aware of the fish's color.
Rack, it's starting to show there.
Did you get it?
I saw a couple letters of it.
Killy. Nice job, Carrie.
Carrie got it?
Yeah.
So you don't think of that. You think of that kind of tan and black stripe, you know? But right at the base of the tail, that yellow in the photographs, the studies I looked at, that would be like near the peduncle. Mm-hmm. And then the tail is like a red and blue flag. It's a red tail with these blue stripes. So
that makes perfect sense.
Once you get that, you have a connection, even though it's modern art and it could stand on its own. Oh, those are pretty colors. I kind of like that. Or I don't. I'm walking on by. Whatever. Once you have that connection, it kind of makes sense in that way. Aha. So I had this one to give away to your viewers, but then Riverwife wanted to give her favorite away. So would it be all right, James, if I sent you 3 to give away?
We could do that.
Okay, I'll send you this one and Riverwife's favorite. Anybody want to guess what Riverwife's favorite is while I dig it out?
Well, I'm going to go with the discus.
That's what I was going to say.
That's my favorite.
I'm absolutely in love with that discus.
I do like this new one, though, that's on his back wall that kind of has the lime green. You know, it's got the red, lime green, and blue with the black bottom of the boat. Yeah. What's that?
That is an Endler's Livebearer. And also one of my favorites, Ed.
I like that.
Yeah, the Endlers turned out really good. I also have an Oscar that hasn't been printed yet. I've got several. And I don't know. I didn't notice if it was on Etsy. I don't recall. But a Maye swordtail. Outstanding palette for that Maye swordtail. All right. Did anybody guess Riverwife's favorite? We haven't lost the audience yet, have we? Do we have the audience?
I think we have the audience.
Okay. She's giving you a clue there. Angela Cross, Riverwife, says, I like blue.
Maybe it's the Bosemani.
Close.
I'm going to go with the blue and brown and light blue wild discus there.
Close.
The featured item.
Close.
Okay, my turn to be the next blue one. How about that blue guppy right there, the bluegrass guppy?
Oh, you're so hot. You're hot. You're hot.
I'm just cheating with blue now. Oh, I was right next to it.
It's rainbow fish.
You were on fire, Ed.
Well, to be honest, I couldn't read it, the lettering, so I didn't read that.
Yeah. So I hope the viewers like these. I want to send these to you, James. You can give them away. You can announce winners tonight if you want to. I'll send them to you, and you can.
I was about to see if we could get that rolling. I didn't preset Nightbot for a giveaway.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry to spring that on you.
No apologies required. That's an awesome thing to spring on someone, and we appreciate it. Let me see if I can get this pulled up. We may be able to do that. The other thing I had in mind possibly would be to give one of them away. And if you'd like to come back at another time, we could actually give away the other 2. We'd have some time to let people know about it. And you could come on and talk about your art again.
No, I want to give them all 3 to you. And I'll come on and I'll give some more away.
Can you also throw in 3 stickers with that?
Absolutely.
That'd be wonderful.
All right, let me see if we can get Nightbot to cooperate real quick. I'm gonna pull this off of here.
While you're doing that, let's thank Nathan. Whoops, I just
Yes, please
lost my
do.
thing. Hang on, let me turn my mouse back on. Nathan from Sand Creek Aquatics donated $10. He says he loves you. Rack shout out during the stream later.
All right. Thank you very
And
much, Nathan.
he's going to be having a stream tonight at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, and I'm going to be on there with him. It'll be his second live stream, like official.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That would be awesome. Check him out. He's still, just like we all did, he's still getting his feelers out there with the live streaming, trying to find out what he wants to do, what everybody wants to do. He's a good guy, so go check him out. I always run over there when he pops up.
James, it just occurred to me that you may only want to do one giveaway. I'll send you these. You can disperse them however you want to. If you want to just give one away tonight, that's fine. I'll send you all three along with some other things we talked about, and you can disperse them however you want. I'm cool.
Yeah, I have to take a slight time out. I've got an air filter that's just like gone dead, and it's making a terrible noise behind me. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's driving me crazy.
There we go. All right, so let's see if Nightbot's going to work tonight. I know we had to kick him out at one point because people were getting mad at him.
Kaler's Aquatic says I can just send them to him.
Right? I think Bob's got the largest collection of fish fam art in the state of Tennessee.
Down the wormhole wants to know if it's going to Canucks.
So let's take a look at the three that you've got there for giveaway. And if you would like to pick one to do right now, you've got the turquoise rainbow, which is Riverwife's favorite, the celestial pearl danio, and the clown killifish.
Yep. So if you're asking me, I'm going with Riverwife's favorite, but I'm not upset if you want to go a different way.
All right, so let's do this. To enter to win the turquoise rainbow from River Life, type hashtag rainbow fish. Give me just a second, and I'll make sure that's set up correctly.
It's a horrible glare, but that's a koi angelfish on top.
Keyword. Here we go. Mm-hmm. I think Nightbot is upset with me. All right. And we'll see if Nightbot's going to cooperate. Let's see if we have any actives. All right. So, yeah, it is starting to show up. So if you want to type hashtag rainbow fish, one word all together, up against the hashtag. We'll give everybody just a minute. All right, Ed's back. Let's add him into the stream here.
Several people now sounding off with that CPD. Ed said he liked it so much, he recommends it.
He went and bought it.
I do. It's a great looking print.
And I don't, just by the way, they all did the same thing at the bottom, and that is River Life YouTube channel studio, Mountain Home, Tennessee, and then the size of the original. The originals are all on canvas. There you go, Ed. Looks
so
great.
Dr. Black brings up a great question, and normally I pre-address it before I give away, asking if Australia is eligible. So here's what I will do. Kind of like I did with my merch giveaway. If it looks like it's going to be something that's excessively expensive to send, I'll contact you and say, hey, do you want to maybe go half on the shipping and try and work something out with you? And if that doesn't work out, we can re-give it. But I do like to try and include everybody. And generally just
make it a third on the excessive shipping. I'll do a third.
And I'll do the other third.
So there you go.
So
look at that. All right. So there you go.
All right. Worldwide, baby.
Worldwide.
There you go, Ed.
Yeah, I always feel bad excluding the people that are not local. And I understand, like, you ship certain things, it's rather expensive. But I generally just try and foot that bill. So yeah, so go ahead and enter. That'll give everybody a chance that was not here in the U.S. to enter, that wasn't sure if they could or not. And we've got 10 minutes left. If you want to throw any questions in, I'm going to wait about one more minute, and then we'll do that giveaway. Looks like we currently have.
Shirt.
It'll be on Etsy soon.
Very
Only
nice.
15 people entered.
Oh, Rack, can you do a koozie, a cup koozie, and have the art go all the way around as one solid piece?
Working on it, Ed. So far, those programs are very bulky, and when I upload that, I get the koozie and the coffee mug back, and it's just the same size, just centered. Instead of on one side or the other, it's just scooted around and centered. So
There we
working
go.
on it.
Got 27 people entered.
That's good.
Give it just another minute. Make sure we've got. I always like to verify when I see somebody enter that it actually shows up on here, because I've had one or two instances where they enter and then it doesn't show up.
And since James is sending it, we'll also throw in a sticker from Fish Room Fever and a Chattanooga Ed sticker. So you'll get 3 stickers.
Love
That's
it.
the cool koozie right there.
Look at that River Life koozie. All right, so we are going
Shameless
to draw
product
for that one.
placement.
Oh, you got to love it.
And you got to live it, man.
Very nice.
All right, so we have 30 eligible users. Let me pull this up on screen so everybody knows it's fair. 30 eligible users.
Go lucky person.
Click that to make sure everybody is eligible, and we are going to give it a roll. And the winner is Moonstone.
Moonstone.
I don't think people would have
Yeah.
believed me if I hadn't popped it up live. Congratulations, Moonstone. And I'm going to have to, or if Ed, you've usually got a notepad, will you write down that Moonstone won that particular print there?
I will.
We've still got a couple
Moonstone
minutes
win,
left.
the CPD. Is that what we went with?
Oh, that was the one that Bob wanted to do next. We went
Okay.
with
All
Angela's
right. So that one,
favorite.
did Moonstone win this one?
Yes, Moonstone won Riverwife's favorite there. Because we went hashtag rainbow fish. So she's got the rainbow fish. Thank you, Kim, and congratulations.
Way to go, Kimberly.
So I'm going to
she's
go
a
in
customer
here.
already too. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
Let's do this, and I will get it set back up real quick. We should have just enough time to do this. While I'm getting set back up, we were talking about community. One thing I didn't get to address was Aquatic Marine. We've all been there. They hosted us. They were kind enough to do that. Ed, you've got some new fish from there. You want to talk a little bit about them, because Kenny is he's an amazing guy and a huge community supporter and member.
Yep. Well, yesterday I was there and I actually didn't buy fish. I looked at them, but I was going to Knoxville to do the interview with Sean Peck, and so I decided to stop by. And Bob and we've been buying these suckers everywhere, or I think every time we see them. And I'm gonna get all my tanks with these things. I used to use suction cup thermometers, but these things are so much better. I absolutely love them. I got my first one in my aquarium box. They have a magnet, and they stick, and they never slide. Or if you want them to slide, you can just pull it like one of the Meg floats. But these things are great. I recommend everybody.
So real quick, we're gonna give away the CPD next. So if you want to win that, if you want to enter, go ahead and type CPD in there. And the reason I do that is because, like you said, some people may be after one and they may not be after the other, and we want to make sure it goes to somebody that's really, really wanting it. So that'll give everybody a chance. Hashtag CPD. We'll give that about 3 minutes. We'll do 2 minutes.
Well, I'll say this about the art. This is a very limited production, first edition, and subsequent editions will probably be labeled as such, and they will be in higher quantity. So there are, I think there's actually 20 of each of these prints that you're seeing, but on Etsy, it only lists 10 in inventory. Because I'm doing the 2-for-1, if you buy one on Etsy, mention which other one you want, I include it for free. And that's going to be it for the first edition. Anything after that is going to be labeled second, third edition, etc. So thank you guys for being early birds and some of the first collectors. I appreciate that very much.
There we go.
Are you having the winners contact you on Facebook?
No, they can email me. Well, I've got Moonstone's information already.
Oh, okay.
She won one of my other giveaways.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, they can email me at fishroomfever@gmail.com. I'm going to go ahead and roll. Well, let me get it on screen and then I'll roll it. We've got 30 eligible people. I'm just going to go through real quick and make sure everybody is still eligible. Best of luck to you all. And the winner is for the CPDs, Dr. Black. Congratulations, Blackie. If I wasn't doing this live, people would think it was rigged because Moonstone won on my last giveaway. Dr. Black also won on my last giveaway. So this is why I like to do it all on screen and live, because people wouldn't believe it otherwise.
Well, Blackie, when you get your print, I hope you'll have a beverage and think of me often and fondly.
Absolutely. All right. So what is the title on the third print? Forgive me. I've
okay. Clown killifish.
All right. So let me get over here and we'll do hashtag killifish.
How about hashtag clown?
Hashtag clown. That works.
Ed, he's not the Candy Overhauls of co-host for nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. All
well,
right.
While he's doing that, I also got some media bags while I was there. These little zip bags are pretty neat. You can drop whatever you want in here and then drop that into your tank. I'm going to be putting crushed coral in there just to raise my hardness a little bit for my guppies, just to make them a little bit tougher. And my water, I noticed, a little light or a little softer than it used to be. So I bought 2 of these types from Kenny. And then I bought 2 of the other type. And I don't know if I'm going to like these. These are 50 cents less, but they don't have a zipper. They have a pull tie. So we'll see.
I've got a hack for those. Just remind me later. I've got a hack for those media bags, Ed.
Well,
all right. So it looks like we've got 30 eligible users. Let me get this pulled back up just in case. Once again, we want to show it's all fair and whatnot.
Good luck, guys.
Because we didn't exclude previous winners, let me add Moonstone and Dr. Black back on there.
That's so generous.
And we're going to roll it. Sandy, how about
Sandy!
That? Awesome. Congratulations.
Okay, Rack, what you do is you'll pay for Sandy's, I'll pay for Moonstone's shipping, and we'll let James pay for Dr. Black's.
We'll just...
Now, Ed.
I will take care of... Just send them all to me and I'll ship them out. And we'll talk about Dr. Black's later. I think it'll be pretty cheap. My concern when I say it is if I say, yeah, I'll ship it, and I get to the post office and like it's $47.93. That's my big concern, is the unknown prior to. But
we'll get that one to Dr. Black one way or the other. It'll happen.
Absolutely. And I've got his information. So Sandy, I just need your mailing information. If you will contact me at fishroomfever@gmail.com. As we're coming into the final minutes, I do want to say some huge thank yous. Thank you to the moderator team. You all do a phenomenal job. Thank you to everybody for hanging out and lurking and being part of the conversation. Either way you want to do it. If you've come back for the replay, we appreciate you. Sorry we missed you on the live. Of course, my co-host, Chattanooga Ed. Always great to have you on. And Brother Rack, the River Life, I appreciate you coming on here. It took a little while for us to work out a schedule, but I'm glad to have you on here.
It was worth the wait, James. I really do appreciate you letting me come on your live stream. You're one of the fastest growing live streams on the platform, at least in our genre. And I love watching your content. It's a privilege to be here with you.
Thank you very much for that. That means a lot to me. I want to get this pulled up real quick so that I can address all the super chats. Let me do this. Sorry, it's lagging out on me. It doesn't like me having all the open windows here. But yeah, that was phenomenal. I appreciate you doing that giveaway. That's made several people very, very happy.
Yeah,
I think that was a wonderful thing.
Not a more deserving group on the internet.
Yeah, again, going back to the community building, that's phenomenal.
I concur.
Yeah, write that down, James. We need to make sure our guests give away things from now on.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll ask you
new standard. New standard.
We won't let them know until they get here. So
by the way, what'd you bring? Yeah.
So a huge thank you, not just for letting us borrow River Life, but also for her contributions. The lovely Angela Cross, I know, had 2 super chats. Daryl Damer had a super chat. Mike from the Fish Tank Barn, super chat as well. Sorry, it's not letting me pull them up, so I'm going off of memory here. Of course, Mr. and Mrs. Zen, Zen Ginger and Mr. Zen, I think they came through with 4 or 5 super chats and super stickers.
Wow.
Bob from Kaler's Aquatics as well. Sand Creek Aquatics. I'm missing at least one person. I know I am. Oh, it might have loaded. Scott Backer. Scott Backer came through with a couple of, or at least one super chat. So thank you to all the super chatters. I'm sorry if I missed your name. I try and get the list up normally. My computer's not wanting to cooperate. Very much appreciated. And we're going to talk a little bit about that on the Thursday night nocturnal feeding, in terms of something I purchased that was based off of the super chats that have come in, putting that money back towards the channel and also back toward the community. If you don't know, River Life, of course, has his live stream on Thursdays as well. He goes before us, before Chris of Multi-Tank Addiction. All of the links for Project Piaba, River Life, Etsy page, all the stream times, all of that is available on the fishroomfever.com website. So if you forgot a link, couldn't get back in the chat to find it, feel free to go check that out, and take a look at the stream times. You might find a fish tuber that you didn't know was doing a stream. One last super chat. Thank you, Moonstone, yet again coming through with the hashtag community and the smiley face.
Heck yeah.
And Rack, if you would like to, River Life, I'll let you end us with your outro because I like it so much better than mine.
Glad to do it, James. Thanks again for having me, Ed. Great being with you tonight. I'd like to invite all your viewers to my premiere in the morning, 11 Eastern time. Got a new video coming out. I hope to see you there. Until then, why don't you get out there and see it, love it, and live it?